Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up with a 12 by 12 layout using a super cute cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict. I don't know exactly what this is called, probably dino border, something like that, but I will leave it linked down below as I always do. I am also using some Vicky Bouton mixed media paper. So this is from, so she's got two 12 by 12 pads out, and this is her earlier one, so not the most recent one that she's released, it's the one before that. But I thought it probably needed just a little bit more mixed media because obviously it doesn't go all the way to the edge, which is fine, but I think it needs something else just to kind of, I don't know, help tie the cut file of the dinosaurs into that background paper. So the photos are of my son playing with the dinosaur toy, which is cute. And so I thought, what better photos than, gosh, my words today. I should use this cut file to scrap those photos because they're pictures of dinosaurs and oh, it's so cute. So I thought I would add just some splatters, my go-to mixed media. So I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Oxides, the mists, is that what they're called? In this one's the mustard yellow colour. Don't ask me what it's called. Again, if you really want to know, I'll leave them linked down below. But I am downstairs when I'm doing this voiceover, not upstairs in my craft room, so I can't even get them out of the drawer. But I know I use a yellow, I use Cracked Pistachio. This is Blush by Heidi Swap Colour Shine. So the papers that I've used is a mix from Chamel's Field Trip and also a Stampin' Up collection, and don't remember what it's called, but it's all dinosaur themed. And there might be some Vicky Bouton paper thrown in there as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So I used a kit that Christina from Secret Not Secret Kit Club made for me, but I also added in a little bit extra because I'm getting right to the end of the stuff that she had put into my kit, and I just padded it out a little bit with stuff that I already had. So the Stampin' Up paper is from my own stash, and the theme went well with this cut file, so we're going with it. So I'm just adding that Cracked Pistachio, Tim Holtz Distress Oxide mists. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, they're not inks, obviously. They're the misty stuff. And then this is an orange. Oh, I know it's called like a chalkboard something, but it's an orange. It's the only orange that I have. And so I wanted to add some orange because, as you can see, there's some orange tones in the background paper from Vicky Bouton, and there's also some orange in the papers that I've used to back the cut file. So wanted to bring that in as well, bring that colour in. So adding that, and then I'm pretty sure I did pull out silver and navy, but I decided not to add those directly onto the background yet, and just to see what everything kind of ends up looking like once I've put it all together. Now, the good thing about using splatters like that is they dry pretty quickly, although the Distress Mist things, they do take a lot longer to dry. So I just put that to the side, but by the time I'm ready to stick my cut file down, they are basically dry. They're not 100% dry, but they're dry enough to make it work. So I put my background paper aside, and then I thought I'll back my photos while I'm giving that a bit of time to dry. So they're already backed in black cardstock because that is the cut file out in black. So I thought I'll back my photos in black just to tie that together. And then I'm just backing them on paper. So these are Stampin' Up papers from that dinosaur collection I was talking about. It's a retired collection. You can't get it anymore. But they were cute. The papers were cute. I've still got a few left. I'll probably save them now to make cards. Just for anyone who likes dinosaurs. But I thought the papers were too cute not to include in this cut file. So I'm just going to back my photos, and I use up quite a bit of this paper. I'm all about using my stash at the moment and using up as much as I can. So yeah, I don't really hold back from backing my photos. I am just layering up, layering up as much as I like. So I'm pretty sure I do 3 layers on each of these photos. And they're the same photo essentially. As I said, Link is playing with a dinosaur toy. It's actually a hand-me-down from his cousin who I don't know if Jack knew that Jess had given me the toy. I think it's supposed to light up and make noise, but the batteries are flat. And I could buy new ones, but I haven't. They're the small flat ones, not the AA or AAA batteries. So they're not something that I generally have in, on hand to have a stash of. I usually have a stash of AA and AAA, but not the little tiny round ones. And so, yeah, I haven't replaced the batteries. And then when Jack come over, and the first time he came over, the toy was just in the toy box in the lounge room where Link and I spend a lot of time playing. And Jack opened it up and he said, "This is mine." And I said, "Well, it was yours, but now it's Lincoln's." He was very confused. And he might have even said to his mum, "I have one like this." And Jess said, "Well, actually, no, you don't anymore." That is yours. So anyway, he was okay about it. He was happy for Link to play with it. But he was just very much like, "This is mine." And now every time he comes over, he's, "This is mine." So I don't know whether he's quite understood that most of his things are getting handed down through Thomas. And once Thomas has finished playing with them, they come to Lincoln. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. And actually I've found that, I think because, Tom has Jack as an older brother, he doesn't play with, I guess, what you might call the baby toys, because Jack doesn't play with them. So Tom likes to play with whatever Jack's playing with, which has meant we've actually got a lot of toys from them handed down already that Tom has finished playing with and Jack's a little bit too old for. So it's quite nice. Link always gets sort of new to him stuff to play with. So yes, it's very lovely having older cousins that can hand things down. So I'm just going to start creating and sticking things down and layering up and just committing to where I want them to go. So I've stuck my cut file down. I'm just layering this ephemera piece. It says dinosaur and it's got handprints and footprints on it. But I've covered those. You can't really tell that they're handprints and footprints, but you can see the dinosaur's word and I've made that stick out the top. And now I'm just committing to sticking down my photos. One I've stuck down flat and one I'm going to pop up on the foam. And then I will build a couple of clusters around them and add my title and we're done. This was not a particularly long layout. Again, I think that's a common theme when you use cut files. Depending on the type of cut file that you use, obviously it takes some time to back them. But once you've backed them, they're actually not that bad and they do make your layouts come together quite quickly, I feel anyway. So I created 3 layouts my son had a 2.5 hour nap today, the day I'm filming these voiceovers, and I created 3 layouts in that time and I messaged them to my sister every time I finished. And all she kept saying to me was, "You're so quick." But I'd already backed my cut files and I had an idea in my head about what I wanted the layouts to look like. And I used all of the same collections. So I didn't have to pack up after each layout and get new things out. I used the same collection that was on my desk. So yeah, it definitely made it much faster. Now, ordinarily I would edit out me sticking down these clusters, but I actually change things around quite a lot. So I actually leave the whole process in. So you can see, initially I thought I would do something like that, but actually I changed things up quite a bit while I am sticking things down. So I wanted to get most of the dinosaurs on the page that were in the field trip collection, Chamel's field trip collection. I fussy cut one of the pattern papers that I got, which had a whole heap of different icons on it. You probably know the one I mean. It has the space icons, it has the books, it has the dinosaurs, and I fussy cut as many of them as I could out just to, again, extend the life of my kit and to give me more ephemera to play with. And now I've got way more ephemera than paper, so it backfired a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm trying to get as many on this page as I can because obviously it relates to dinosaurs. I'm not usually a themed layout kind of person, but in this case it works. So we're going with it. And so you can see already I've moved things around a little bit. I've put that Stegosaurus down in the bottom right. And now I'm thinking that dinosaur that says "Hear Me Roar" is just a little bit too big for what I wanted. So I'm creating a cluster underneath this photo with the dinosaurs that I fussy cut from that 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper. So they're a little bit smaller than the ones in the ephemera pack and they're a good size for that sort of that space just there. I knew I wanted to put my title under there, so I didn't want anything to be popped up on foam. I stuck it all down flat so that my title can nestle in on top and overlap. So that is why I left this process in. So otherwise you would have just seen all of a sudden I'd laid out the "Hear Me Roar" piece, and then when I cut it out I cut out the sticking down part, you would have seen that I'd changed it all up without kind of me explaining my process. So yeah, I just decided to go with a few extra dinosaurs on the page, but they were a little bit smaller and I just found weren't quite so overpowering. It's possibly the word "hear me roar" as well is a little bit, it just took away a little bit and it was a bit too much of a focus. So you saw my title, What a Little Dino-mite. Obviously going with the punny title there. Yeah, so you didn't need to watch me stick it down, but I have added that to the left-hand side there, the bottom left. And then I pulled out these enamel shapes. They actually match the Stampin' Up! Paper collection. They were part of the collection in Stampin' Up! That you could buy. And so I pulled those out to add as well. And then these little enamel or puffy stickers, Love Hardy ones that I put down, were from a thicker word phrase set. I don't know what it's called. Again, I'm downstairs, I'm not upstairs in my craft room. But I sort of cut those out to use. And now I'm just adding these pink triangles as my enamel shapes, just for something a little bit of extra little details to add. And then I think at this point I decide to add some splatters. So I'm actually going in with the silver. It's an art spray and it's an acrylic paint based silver spray. If you want the link, let me know. It's a US company, I think. You can get it lots of places though. You can certainly buy it direct from stores in Australia. And so yeah, I'm adding the silver and I'm really happy with this silver actually, because I think it's acrylic paint based. It's quite opaque. And yeah, it's really effective. And I end up actually just adding it everywhere, sort of like I did with the background. So I actually add it over top of the cut file as well, just to add a little bit of extra interest. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's certainly a colour palette that I don't always kind of embrace. So it's a lot brighter and probably a lot more colours than I would normally put on a layout, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out and it suits the photo really well. Yeah, I'm really happy. So here it is, here's a close-up. I hope you're all doing well and having a lovely day, and we look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us. Okay guys, bye.